Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the 5.3 Abyss has, no, not 5.3, 5.4 Abyss, in fact, has just arrived, and if we take a look real quick, you can see on the second half, we have characters charge attack cryo damage is increased by 75%, which that just absolutely screams Wriothesley buff. It's been a while since I've been able to showcase my Wriothesley, so you know what? Now's the time, because I do consider myself a Wriothesley main. He is the only character who I've ever intentionally pulled a constellation for. But real quick, if we just take a look at our first half, we're going to be playing a team of neuvillette, furina, kazuha, and citlali, because for the second half, we want to use save our xilonen. So we're going to have xilonen, and then bennett, and then of course mavuika to round out the, probably I'd say, Wriothesley's new best in slot team, and it's also just a really fun dual EPS team. So yeah, with that being said, let's just get started. Oh, also real quick, I should note that my Wriothesley is C1, so do keep that in mind. I wish I could disable this constellation. I did once do a C0 versus C1 comparison, but unfortunately I can't do that ever again because I did activate the C1 since, you know, I did pull for it, so I kind of want to use it. So yeah, character builds will be at the end, but with that being said, let's just get right into it. Alright, and here we are in the first chamber, picking up a crit buff, which is nice because neither of our DPS characters are at 100 yet, so we can get closer to that 100% crit ratio. All of them do have over 200 crit damage though, so, you know, we should be able to crit big. Actually, I think this takes our Wriothesley up to 306 crit damage if I remember well. We have a pretty good build for him. We are just going to be doing the standard neuvillette rotation where you only use 2 charge attacks, basically just skill, team rotation, go back to neuvillette, charge attack 1, skill again, charge attack 2. And then when you go through supports again, and then use Neuvillette's ultimate, and then end off with a skill to basically repeat the rotation. I find it to be just the most consistent way of making Neuvillette do decent damage, and he is doing a fair bit in this team. You know, citlali is normally used for melt, although the fact that she reduces Hydro Res is quite good for our Neuvillette as well, and we can just finish it all off in this charge attack. And we are already on the second half. That didn't take us very long. Let's see, how long did we take? Basically 45 seconds. So yeah, we have quite a fair bit of time here. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this actually isn't the best chamber to show off a Wriothesley right now, because although it is single target, which is nice for him, these enemies just die a bit too quickly for me to use like Mavuika's ultimate and stuff. Wriothesley is hitting for about 160k here. Bennett did run out, so we did only hit 88k there. You know, I do wish there would have been a better alternative for Bennett. Like I said, I used to run the Shenhe variant, which will give Wriothesley more personal attack damage, but I don't think Mavuika's Pyro application will be able to keep up if we use Shenhe's ultimate, so we're not getting the full version of her buffs. And, you know, this team is just quite comfy to play. Also, the overall team DPS is going to be higher because of Mavuika's personal damage. Normally what I would do is I would set up a melt on Mavuika's ultimate using Wriothesley's ult, although it's just not really all that worth it right now, because these guys, like I said, you know, they're kind of pushovers, they're going down quite easily. I'm more concerned here with just preserving our ultimates and making sure that we have everything ready for a good first rotation on the first side. I actually forgot that there's one more enemy here, whoops. Anyway, let's see, 175k again. I'm pretty sure we've hit every single crit, so maybe we're now at... No, I think we're probably about 96 crit rate, I want to say, because I know in a freeze team we normally have 100% crit rate, but I didn't swap over to an EM Sands, just because I don't have many good ones, and I can't be able to change my build, so, you know, technically our Wriothesley could be doing more damage, but anyway, that's beside the point. Let's move on to the second chamber, and hopefully we can do a better showcase there. Okay, and second chamber time, and ooh, we actually do get ourselves another crit buff, so I think both Neuvillette and, actually maybe not Neuvillette, Neuvillette's probably like 96 crit rate, but Wriothesley's definitely just over 100 crit rate right now, which is very nice because they're going to have very high crit damage and basically be guaranteed to crit. So we are seeing between 40 to 50k on Neuvillette most of the time here. Yeah, Neuvillette's AoE is just too good. Mavuika's is pretty good as well, although I'd say Neuvillette's is a fair bit, maybe not a fair bit better, but just slightly better. Zhao, I'd say, is probably the, I don't know, I'd probably put Neuvillette, Zhao, and then Mavuika when it comes to AoE DPS. I do actually think Zhao is an incredibly strong AoE DPS. The problem is, you know, you really need his premium team. If you don't have all of his premium team, you know, maybe you can get away with like a C2 Farazan, but you still need like a Shenyan and a Furina, which, you know, if you don't have that, then it's definitely Mavuika's better, but if you do, then, you know, I'd probably put Xiao over her. And then, Mizuki technically should be a good swell DPS. I'm still in the process of building mine slightly. I feel like next Abyss run should be a clear using her. Although, we will just have to see how she does. Just gonna alter so that we can make things go a little bit faster as well. Actually want to use my skill here so that we can get a little bit of extra energy. And there we go. Cleared in 85 seconds-ish. I feel like we could have gone a bit quicker. But anyway, we do have I was going to say perpetual mechanical array. That's not the right thing. Anyway, yeah, we are just using Wriothesley's normal attack right at the start so that we can... okay, are we gonna be able to melt here? Yes, we do. We get a big 500k hit. So yeah, basically we go Wriothesley, normal attack into a xilonen so that we get the cryo for his rotation. Obviously Bennett's buff did unfortunately expire there just because we were using the plunge mechanics, because I don't want to get absolutely slammed by him. Although I think we're getting some like 80k hits in here, which is pretty damn strong, all things considered. Although, like I said, obviously we are helped by the fact that my Wriothesley is C1. Since we didn't have his ultimate there, I decided, let's just use it, let's just get Mavuika's ult right out there. We're hitting for about 100k here, which is nice, although I think I'm missing some melts, which, unfortunate there, although we have still done quite well for ourselves. Yeah, we should be able to take this thing out basically right away. I think Mavuika's ult should be able to seal the deal. Yes, it should. And that was about a minute clear, I want to say. So, yeah, good stuff. And with that being said, let's move on to the third chamber. So far, so good. Okay, and here we are in the final chamber, and we do get ourselves a burst damage increase, which is going to be nice for our Mavuika, less useful for our Wriothesley. I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of Wriothesley's ultimate. You just kind of use it when you have it up, you don't worry about it too much. Although, then again, I do like the fact that he isn't burst reliant, because I don't really like it when characters are all that burst reliant. Neuvillette's ult will be doing a decent amount of damage, although, not an insane amount. Okay, this one definitely has way more HP than the first one. Okay, group these guys up, and we should be able to take them out quite quickly and still be able to do damage to the next wave. Okay, one charge attack probably wasted, although we still get the second one off, which is nice. But yeah, still doing over 40k ticks. This Neuvillette just has so many team options nowadays, which are so strong. You could go swap out xilonen, swap out citlali for xilonen, swap out kazuha for xilonen. Although that's probably less good because you want to have, scroll obviously doesn't stack, but then again you could use archaic petra on xilonen. There's just so many options. You also have the variants of Mavuika and stuff like that, and then you have, you could just go classic kazuha, baiju, something like that. And during my yapping, we managed to clear it. And now we're on this boss. So again, apply cryo, use xilonen so that we get her buffs, ult on Bennett, skill on Mavuika, and we ult on Wriothesley again. Okay, we missed, so you know what, we're just gonna stay on field on Wriothesley. I think we saw 170k there. Yep, again. Yeah, he definitely is on 100% career right now. We did miss his 5th attack, so we didn't get the charge attack off. Yeah, I mean, this buff is literally just made for him. It's kind of crazy how targeted it is towards him. And okay, 115k there, and 115. Oh, you know what? Since this guy just has cryo on him the entire time, we might as well just use Mavuika's ultimate. I don't know why our power application was a bit scuffed that time around, but what can you do? Okay, we are gonna freeze this guy again once more. And yeah, we're actually going to clear this pretty well. Now, obviously, my Wriothesley's performance is boosted by the fact that he's C1. And second of all, we do get the 70% cryo charge attack buff, which is just an insane buff. I don't like how they're making Abyss buff so specific, but you know what? If they're going to give us the buff, I might as well just take advantage of it to get to showcase Wriothesley once and for all. And we cleared incredibly quickly there. Yeah, this is basically just a very good example of a dual DPS team. If you have cryo on them, ult on Mavuika, do a couple of charge attacks, and once you have the pyro going again, swap into Wriothesley, and then do his charge attacks. They will do a fair bit of damage. Both Mavuika and Wriothesley do a fair bit of damage in this team. I actually think it's quite fun to play, less finicky. You don't have to worry about things like Shangling's energy. So yeah, I definitely think Melt Wriothesley is doing better nowadays than he used to. I'd say it's maybe one of the better teams in the game. Not one of the top teams, but one of the better ones. But yeah, with that being said, let's move on to some final thoughts and character builds. Well, as you can see, I'd say both teams performed quite well, and I was very happy with the Rising team. Very fun to play, quite easy to play. Even if you don't want to play it optimally, it will still get the job done more than easily enough. Like I said, it's just pretty easy to manage. Now, real quick when it comes to our character builds, neuvillette, 48 crit, 230 crit damage, although obviously we got a bunch of crit boosts in that run. You know, standard Marshall build, nothing too special here. C0 and then 10, 6, 7 talents. Furina, 64 crit, 183 crit damage, 222 ER. Fab Sword R1 just to help our entire team out with energy. And then C0 with 2, 9, 10 talents. Kazuha, 812 EM, 22 crit, 177 ER. It would normally be on Fab, but I have decided to place the Fab Sword somewhere else. Full EM obviously, and then C0 triple crowned, and then for our citlali over here, 754 EM, 168 ER as well, which can be useful considering the fact that we don't have many Natlan characters on the team. She has some Frailing Tails, although that doesn't really help our neuvillette, so you know we can move right past that. Obviously she is on the scroll set, which will be giving our neuvillette a nice buff as well, and then 196 talents. And then moving on to our Rising team, my pride and joy, 51 crit, 290 crit damage, pretty nutty build, although this is his freeze team build. I would normally want to put him on an EM Sans, although like I said, I just couldn't be bothered to swap my build around, so you know, there are definitely improvements that could be made. He could be doing more damage himself, but that's what I decided to go with. He is on a Winsif, R5, C1 like I mentioned, and then triple crown, because like I said, I do like to consider myself a Risley main. And then next up we have xilonen as well. 2.5k defense, 43 crit, 208 ER for the Fab Sword. Once again, scroll so that we can get our Risley that nice buff. Triple defense, C0 and 6, 10, 8 talents. For our, who's next? Bennett, yep. There we go, you know, 743 base attack. We do have him on a level 90 sapwood blade. Noblesse gives us a nice little attack buff to our Risley. And then C6 with 1, 4, 13 talents. And then finally our mavuika, 322 EM, 60 crit, basically 242 crit damage. Obviously this goes up to an effective 99.8% crit rate chance. Serpent Spine, R1, Obsidian Codex. Yeah, I'm very happy with my mavuika build right now. C0 and then 179 talents. I haven't gone around to crowning that just yet, but once we do, we can see even more damage on her, which will be very fun. So yeah, that's it for the character builds. Like I said, both teams very fun, made this Abyss very easy. Probably the easiest in quite some time, but yeah, with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and see ya.